What's up, everybody? It's your boy, the P to the A. Today, on this snowy day, we're gonna make Portuguese comfort food. So the dish is known as Ervilhas guisadas, which means stewed peas, done with peas, done with chicken, some kind of meat, and a chourizo, Portuguese chourizo, which is a sausage, and it makes a traditional Portuguese dish that a lot of people, mainly in the Azores, part of Portugal, make. It's a great dish for a cold day, so let's get to it. It's your boy, the PA. Let's go. Alright, so for this dish, I'm gonna go ahead and use some chicken thighs. I think they have more flavor. We have a Portuguese chourizo. If you don't have one of those, you can use a Spanish chourizo. And very important here, you have to use frozen peas, good quality frozen peas. Do not use canned peas. It's not gonna work with canned peas. So the first thing we're gonna do is chop up this onion and mince some garlic. So let's get to it. This is gonna be a great dish. Probably the greatest and the best tasting pea dish you ever had in your life. So let's go. As you can see, I'm just rough chopping this onion. You don't have to be too precise. But we're going to incorporate this in the dish, and this is going to enhance the dish, and we're going to go ahead and just keep adding flavor to this dish. Once we are done chopping up our onion, we're going to go ahead and mince some garlic. And Portuguese food traditionally has a lot of garlic in it, so we're going to go ahead and add this to our dish as well. So this is real Portuguese comfort food. This is something that Portuguese moms actually make. It really is just a great comfort dish, and I grew up with this, and it just makes you warm inside when you eat it. Now we also gonna need some kind of chicken stock. Here I have some bouillons, but you can use traditional chicken stock. I had these bouillons on here, these Knorrs, that's what I'm gonna use. We're gonna quickly go over these ingredients that we're gonna use, and here we have Portuguese crushed red pepper, which is a staple in Portuguese homes. We're gonna talk about that. We have some peppercorns here, and on this chicken right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and put some garlic, paprika, a little bit of salt, a little bit of that crushed pepper, and if you don't have this crushed pepper, you can use an Asian crushed pepper, and a little bit of olive oil. And we're going to give this a mix, and we're going to let it sit there for 5 to 10 minutes, let it absorb all those spices. Again, on here we have paprika, we have garlic, we have salt, a little bit of black pepper, and a little bit of onion powder. Besides garlic, we use a lot of paprika in Portuguese cooking, so make sure you add a good amount of paprika to your dish. So here I'm using a Portuguese chourizo. You can use a Portuguese linguiça if you like. You can go online and find where to buy it, or if you don't have it, you can use a Spanish chourizo, which is almost the same thing, and it's an okay substitute. But if you want authentic Portuguese flavor, you gotta get the Portuguese chourizo. And MJ over here loves this stuff. Look at her. Anything for chorizo. Just make sure you don't replace this with a hot dog or something. It has to be a real sausage. And to the bottom of the pan here, we're going to add a little bit of olive oil, Portuguese olive oil, and we're going to incorporate the chorizo and the onions together. So as you can see, that's what I'm doing here, just browning them a little bit and basically releasing some of these flavors from the meat, incorporating the onions, a little bit of that sweetness, and we're going to go ahead as well and throw the garlic in there. And now you can see I'm throwing the chicken in there. Again, I'm just browning this meat. I'm incorporating all these flavors, the chorizo, the chicken thighs, the onion, and the garlic. And brown that a little bit, move that a little bit around, and that's what you have to do to develop that flavor. I got a little bit of the onions left and a little bit of those spices, so I'm going to incorporate all of that. This dish is going to require a little bit of chicken stock or some chicken bouillons, which is the same thing. So here I had chicken bouillons. I'm actually just throwing them in there and incorporating them into the chicken, and then I'm going to go ahead and add water over this to create the stock. Now, a very important note, you have to use good quality frozen peas like I have here. Do not use canned peas. These peas are very commonly found in Portuguese supermarkets. They're from a company called Triunfo, but you can also use any other frozen peas that you find. Now, this is a guisado, this is a stew, so when you put your water, make sure you put your water to the level of the peas. Do not put more water than this. This is not a soup. By the way, that marinade that we use on the chicken is great on the grill, so I'm grilling some chicken here while I wait. Having a little glass of wine, a little vino, you know, relaxing. Alright, so I keep checking on the peas, and if I see that it needs more water, I slowly add more water. But like I said, this is a guisado, this is a stew, not a soup, so add the water gently and slowly. So as I check it and I think it needs a little bit more water, I'll add it. But again, you don't want to make it soupy. So one of the coolest things about this dish is that it has some poached eggs, and I'm going to show you how we poach the eggs. But in order to do that, we need to poach the eggs towards the end once the peas are done. And you can see how I'm checking the peas. I'm just going to go ahead and crush it with my fingers. If they're nice and tender, then it's ready to go. So let's poach those eggs. So towards the end here, when I think that this is all set and done, I'm going to go ahead and just throw some eggs over the peas. At this point, I'll lower the heat all the way down and put the cover back on. While I wait for the eggs to cook, I'll go ahead and have another glass of wine. Why not? So as you can see at this point, the eggs are nice and poached, and basically it was low heat, and the steam really is what cooked them. So here we have our poached eggs. They look perfect. The meal looks good, and I think at this point we're ready to serve it up. So let's go. Again, this really is a comforting, delicious dish. It's peas. You can see that chicken just falling apart. Like, it's just incredible, and it just makes you feel good when you eat it, and it reminds me of my mom, and it reminds me of home, and I love this dish, and it's very nutritious. You got some poached eggs, you got vegetables, and peas don't have to be boring. When you eat peas like this, they're sweetened because of the onions and all those meats, that juice, those eggs, and you have a nice running egg all over those peas. It's just delicious. And of course, when you eat this, you gotta eat it with your gold chain, because that's how it's done. A glass of wine. And look at that running, beautiful yolk. I do hope that you tried this dish. It's a really beautiful dish. I think you're gonna like it. And I think you're gonna find it that it's very delicious and very much enjoyable. So please share, put a like, check out the description. I have links to all the stuff that I used here. And if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe for more. And thank you. It's the P to the A. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.